Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Naked Healthy's Underground Neon Terrarium. So today we are going to talk about working out. I have noticed that a lot of people that work out are not in shape. I want to address that, and I want to talk about the top 5 reasons why I think that is. So I'm going to do this video a little bit differently. I'm just going to give you all top 5 reasons right away, and if you want to skip off this video and be about your day, good on you. So, number 1, sleep. I don't think people are getting enough sleep. I'll address that in a minute. I'm going to go through all these one by one in just a second. Number 2, food. I don't think people are getting the right food. I don't think people are getting the right food around their workouts. Number 3 is caffeine. I think people are getting way too much caffeine in the morning, and I think that they are not getting the full use of their caffeine receptors later in the day when they work out because they've already burnt out themselves earlier in the day. Number 4 is, yes? Are you coming up here? Are we doing this? Excellent. All right, number 4. You want to tell them or do you want me to tell them? Lighten the weight. Stop lifting so goddamn heavy. We're not ego lifting. We're not hoisting. We're not body hoisting. We are bodybuilding. That's what we are doing. I don't care if you're male or female. We are bodybuilding. You're in the gym to build muscle. We're bodybuilding, okay? Just because we're not on steroids and we're not 300 pounds and walking around with steak in our mouth all day doesn't mean that we're not bodybuilding, all right? Number 5, you wanna tell them? I'll tell them. Make as light of the weight as possible, as heavy as possible, okay? For example, when I go to the gym, I could do, let's just say 75 pounds on chest flies, right? Flat, press, laying on my back, pressing like this, okay? I rarely will do, I might do that one set, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start light and I'm gonna get 45s and I'm gonna go really slow and I'm gonna stretch the muscle and I'm gonna bring it all the way down as far as I can and then I'm gonna slowly press up and I'm gonna bring it all the way down as far as I can and then I'm gonna slowly press up and I'm gonna slowly bring it back down and I'm gonna force blood into the muscle and then I will start bringing the weight up set after set after set after that. But if you just jump in there and you throw on, you know, a bunch of weight on either side and you just start pounding away, you're likely to, A, you're not warmed up properly. You could hurt a shoulder, you could hurt a pec, you could push a hernia out. There's just all sorts of things. You need to prime your body for what you're about to do to it. So let's go through these one by one, okay? So, Hula, you good? You ready? Let's go. All right, sleep. Gentlemen, if you get 2 hours less sleep than you usually get, your testosterone will be 50% less than it usually would. It takes 2 hours for that to happen. There's a new study that just came out. Andrew Huberman talked about this recently on one of his podcasts. I don't remember the exact study. I will reference it later. However, 20 years older, so let's say you're 30 years old and you get 4 hours of sleep. You're gonna have a 50-year-old's testosterone the next day. And I would just like to point out that 50% of men over the age of 50 suffer from erectile dysfunction. So your testosterone lowers drastically. You not having enough sleep for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, it's going to affect you. You're gonna be bitchy, you're gonna be moody, you're not gonna be as hungry, you're not gonna have near as much energy in the gym, you're gonna be flatter. It's not gonna, so it's gonna affect you in many ways. The next thing that I wanna focus on with sleep is that your gray matter, women, this applies to you. Your gray matter and your white matter in your brain, which forms your neurons, recycles while you sleep, okay? It doesn't do it while you're running around during the day, all right? It's only gonna happen while you're asleep. So it's another reason that you need it. Plus, all your muscles recover while you sleep. I will go to bed some nights and wake up in the morning literally looking more muscular because it just had time for my body to rest and recuperate and do what it needed to do, okay? Let's move on to number 2, food. You need to be eating a ton of calories before your workout and after your workout. Healthy, lean protein, carbs, and fat before and after your workout. So that could be something like chicken, rice, and broccoli. I would not go and eat lasagna or something super heavy that's just gonna sit in your stomach that's gonna make you bloated. You need to eat something that 30 minutes later you can bend over and you're not like, you don't wanna be feeling like you've got a food baby, okay? You wanna eat food that's clean, and then go to the gym. So if you are afraid of carbohydrates, if you're on a low carb diet for any reason, which we'll talk about that in another video. I've tried that, it's not for me. But if you are, replace that carbohydrate, the rice, with an avocado. So you would do chicken, avocado, and then broccoli. All right. And then after you work out, you could do a protein shake with a bunch of berries, nut butter, maybe a little bit more avocado if you want, or 2 different types of nut butter, and then your vegetarian protein and a non-dairy milk. Drink that, you go home, wait 30, 40 minutes. If you start to get hungry, eat another clean little meal. Eat a little bit of chicken and some broccoli or something like that, or an hour or 2 later. But be prepared because your appetite is going to be increased when you work out. If you aren't fueling your workouts, you are going to very quickly fall into overtraining. And one of my favorite quotes from Arnold ever is, there's no such thing as overtraining, there's only undereating, which pretty much says it all. If you don't eat enough food, your energy is just not going to be there, okay? This moves us to number 3, caffeine. Caffeine will stymie your appetite. It's just going to step on your appetite. It's going to blindfold it, put it in the trunk, push it down the hill, okay? It's gone. You'll just be able to go, 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 until your blood sugar just crashes, and then you're gonna feel like shit and you're gonna be hangry. So if you drink caffeine first thing in the morning, your cortisol is very high first thing in the morning. It's just natural. Some of your hormones are naturally higher in the morning. Cortisol is one of them. If you drink caffeine first thing in the morning while your stress hormone's high, and then get into a car and drive in traffic to work, or just have to go to work, you're gonna be spazzy and a little bit more like, yes, I understand caffeine makes us feel good. It's euphoric, gives us dopamine, but it can also make us spazzy and make us grouchy and just blah, right? So by having too much caffeine first thing in the morning, you're going to spike yourself up. You're also going to spike your blood sugar, and then you're going to give yourself a drop. If you're going to the gym later in the afternoon after work, or say even midday, you've already spiked up your energy and dropped yourself off. Now what? Are you going to have more caffeine to go to the gym, and you're going to spike yourself up like what, later in the day? So my suggestion with this is have a little bit of caffeine an hour and a half after you wake up, start cutting it back, don't do energy drinks, and have 1. That's it. So that later in the day when you exercise, you can have your essential amino acids that will give you natural energy so that you can go and work out and they'll actually do something. But if you've blasted yourself with caffeine all morning long and into the afternoon, it's not going to have the same effect. And not only that, you're probably going to be too tired to even want to go to the gym, right? So you want to really make sure that you keep your caffeine low, okay? Now, let's talk about the gym, all right? I know that you guys are watching a gym video for gym stuff. Let's finally talk about the gym. Number 4, people are lifted too damn heavy. Straight up, way too heavy. I understand there's a bunch of sexy bodies in there and you want to be in there doing your thing. Again, we're not body hoisting, okay? We are bodybuilding. It is very important that you develop a mind-muscle connection so that when you are moving a weight, curls for example, you are actually feeling the muscle contract as you're lifting the weight. You contract it, you slowly bring it down, you stretch the muscle, and then you bring it back up. But if your weight is so heavy that you're just having to hoist it up and then you're just slinking it down, that's not building muscle, and also you're gonna hurt yourself. Period. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but it will happen. I'm 42. I have never hurt myself in the gym ever because I lift smart, okay? Number 4 and number 5 are kind of similar, but they're a little bit different. Number 4 is lift lighter. Number 5 is make as light of the weight as you can, as hard as you can, okay? So 4 and 5 kind of tie into one another. What I mean by that is, let's say chest, for example. If I can do a 75-pound press and bring it all the way down and all the way down and all the way down, you want full control. At no point in that lift, if you feel like you're going to lose it, the weight's too heavy. Lower the weight. I want you to have full control all the way down, be able to hold it, stretch it, and press all the way back up. If you have a ton of weight in your hand, you are putting a lot more tension on your shoulder that needs to be there. That's not where you're trying to focus. You're trying to focus on your chest. But if the weight's too heavy, the force will disperse throughout your body. It's going to go throughout your torso. You're going to be digging your feet in. You're probably going to turn one shoulder a little bit more to try to. We're not trying to do that. I want you fully controlled. Stand in the mirror before you go to the gym and pretend that you're lifting weights. And focus and pretend in your mind's eye that there is weight in your hand and you are activating your muscle to actually make it move without actually having weight in your hand, and focus and experiment on turning your wrist. Oh shit, when I turn my pinky out, I can feel my bicep way more without even doing anything. But when I turn it like this, I lose it. But when I turn it like this, I get it again. Things like that. You play around, and then you go to the gym and you take a light weight and you experiment. But if I go and I grab a 45-pound weight, I'm never going to be able to play around and do the same motion that I did when I was preparing at home. So please lift lighter. This doesn't mean lift so light that you can throw the weight. I want you going to exhaustion, but around rep 15, 16, 17, or 18. And maybe on your third or fourth set, you can do around 13 or 14 reps. But I don't want you doing 3 or 4 or 6 or 8. I want way more than that. We are trying to get our heart strong, build our immune system, build our cardiovascular system, build our tendons, build our ligaments. We're trying to strengthen everything, okay? Weightlifting strengthens your bones, strengthens your confidence, your ligaments, your tendons, everything that I just said, okay? But if you're in there hoisting and just pushing this weight that is far too heavy than you have any business lifting, what's going to happen is your back's going to hurt. You're going to go to the gym and the next day you wake up and you'll be like, holy shit, my back hurts. Okay, maybe this is just the way I'm supposed to feel. It's not. What's going to happen is you're going to feel that way enough times and you're going to quit. I don't want you to quit. I want you to do this forever. I want to be lifting weights when I'm 85 or 90 years old. That's my goal. I want you to be able to do the same thing. If you're lifting too heavy, you're going to hurt yourself. You're not going to be able to do that. Make as light of the weight as you can, as heavy as you can. Okay? I promise you, you will go leaps and bounds. If you need to do body weight squats, great. There is no shame in that. I was doing knee push-ups today at the end of my workout. I don't care what people think. I do not care. I do not care. I'm not there to impress anybody. I am there to get my body into the best physical condition I possibly can. It's not going to happen being a power lifter. Let me ask you like this. Have you ever seen a power lifter whose body you want? All weight. And no insult to power lifters. They just need to eat shitloads of calories and they are doing 1 and 2 reps and they're very explosive. It's not what we are doing. We are trying to build our entire body and all the things that I listed earlier: bones, ligaments, tendons, heart, muscles. Okay? So we need to do that with adequate sleep, with the right food, by not blasting our caffeine receptors, by lifting lighter so that we can control and have a mind-muscle connection, and by making the weight as heavy as we possibly can, as light as it possibly can be, okay? You can still work your way up. I'm still moving some weight, and I watched 300 this weekend, and I went in there to the gym, and I was definitely thinking about that. So it's not like I'm in there just, you know, I'm fucking getting it while I'm in there, okay? So you got to work your way up to it. I warm up, and then maybe on my third or fourth set, I'll do one that's a little bit heavier. But again, I'm not going way heavier. I'm not maxing. Heavy for me is doing 8 or 9 reps. There's no 1 rep max. I don't know what my max is on anything. No clue. I don't do it. That's way too close. That's like cycling next to the edge of a cliff. There's no need for me to do that. That's just, I'm going to fall, I'm going to hurt myself, and that's not what I want to do. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Please subscribe and tell your friends and your wife and your kids about this channel. We're going to be doing cooking videos. We are going to be doing all sorts of different things: breath work, meditation, grounding. I want as many people as that we possibly can off of Big Pharma. And the last thing that I will leave you guys with is this. If you are trying to exercise and you need added motivation, think about it this way. When birds and fish are flying and swimming in a flock in a school, right? When they're doing their thing, they don't bump into each other, ever, because there's an outer brain called a collective consciousness that they are working within. We as a human being species on this planet have a collective consciousness that we are working within. When we are freaked out, when 9/11 happens, when all the stuff that's going on in the Middle East happens, when it spikes us, it is literally readable on a random number generator, okay? The collective consciousness on this planet is dictated by the food that we eat and the thoughts that we think, okay? The more clean food that you eat, and the more that you exercise, and the more that you increase your vibration, the more that you will change people around you and you will help to affect other people. I guarantee you, if you were a parent and you start making these changes and you tell nobody in your house, they will start to notice. They will. Mom, what are you doing? Dad, what are you doing? You seem different. Whatever it is that they say, they will notice and they will rise with you. Okay? You don't need to sit here and force these things on other people. Just do it yourself. Be quiet about it. People will ask. The shape of your face will change. Your jawbone will come back. Your skin will start to glow. You'll feel good. You start seeing shapes and shadows and stuff that you used to have that you haven't seen in a really, really long time. Your mood will be better. You want to drink less. You want to vape less. All of these vices that you have, you want to do way, way, way less when you just naturally feel good and you have your vibration is high and it's clean. And to know that my energy affects someone else's energy. My heart emits a signal. It's up to 9 meters, okay? Yours does the same thing. The happier and healthier you are, the more that's detectable. The less healthy and the less happy that you are, the smaller that signal is, okay? I want to feel your heart happy and healthy. So does everybody. We all do, okay? Everybody love everybody. We can do this. Mwah! Mwah! I love you guys. Hula, do you want to leave with anything? Great. Anybody else? No? Cool. Thanks, guys. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. I appreciate you very, very much. I'll see you next time.